Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar where we'll be discussing NAA's Top Employers Awards Program. My name is Stephanie Hurst. I'm the Member Programs Manager here at NAAEI. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, I want to go over a few housekeeping points. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on NAA's website by the end of this week. If you should have any questions during the session, please drop them into the chat box. We've left time at the end for questions. And now I am pleased to introduce today's speaker, Russ Fordyce. Russ is the Managing Director for the Business Intelligence Group, the presenter of NAA's Top Employers Awards Program. For more than a decade, the Business Intelligence Group has helped organizations gain the recognition they deserve through industry and business awards programs. Take it away, Russ.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Russ Fordyce, as Stephanie mentioned. We're going to walk today through the Top Employers program. This is actually the nomination guide that you can get from our website. We'll go through kind of all the different points, walk you through the sample survey, the benchmark report, and as well as the raw data that you'll get back as part of the nomination. And so we'll go through the nomination guide first, just to kind of give you a sense of what's going on. And as Stephanie mentioned, if you have questions, just feel free to put them into the Q&A or into the chat box, and we'll try to answer those as at the end of the session. So kind of what is the NAA Top Employers Awards? This is really to recognize member organizations that are doing the right things for employees and creating environments that employees like to work in. And we do that through an NPS, or a Net Promoter Score based survey. It's a proprietary survey that we use to survey all of the nominees. That survey asks some pretty general questions about employee satisfaction and engagement, and I'll share that survey with you here in a moment. We use that data to determine the winners. So your employees will fill that survey out, and then that data comes back into our systems, and we'll determine the winners based on that data. The nomination deadline this year is for March 3rd, and then the finalists will be notified May 3rd, and then we'll have some publicity start later in May. So kind of the why you want to do this program. This is really more than an awards program. It's nice to get a trophy at the end of an awards program, but the raw data that you get back out of this survey is really the kind of, in my opinion, the important part of this program. The survey data can be cut in any number of different ways to kind of give you a sense of where you're really excelling in your business in terms of employee satisfaction and engagement, and where you might need some help. And so it's really a powerful tool for you to use as you go forward in the year to try to improve employee satisfaction and engagement. Why would you want to do that? Well, it increases productivity, encourages new ideas, reduces turnover, tracks the progress of the company, and just improves your company culture. We have a lot of companies that come back to us year over year, so they get that data year after year, and they can see their progress as to how they're doing on that survey year over year. So there's really 4 steps to winning the Top Employers Award. The first is to enter. So submitting a nomination. It's a very simple nomination form. You can get it on the website. I think it's about 10 questions. It's really more contact data and biographical data about the company than anything else. So again, that is due on March 3rd. We then go into an employee survey period. At that time, we'll provide you with all the emails and communications you'll need to solicit nominations from solicit surveys completions from your employee pool. And that period goes from March 8th until the 21st of April. And so, like I said, we'll give you all the emails that you need to send to your employees, and then we'll give you updates along the way as to how many surveys you've received so far. After the survey period ends, you'll actually get your own employee survey data back, as well as a benchmark report. And that benchmark report really gives you a sense of where you are as opposed to compared to the industry as a whole. So how did you perform in the various questions against the industry? This is really that powerful tool where you can get a sense of, hey, I need to work on this or that, and you can put those actions into motion in the year. And then we celebrate the winners later in May. I think we're still waiting on the exact date on that one, but it'll be an official press release, and then we'll go out into social media channels. So it's a really very straightforward process. You enter, you survey your employees, you learn about your business, and then we celebrate a little bit. The employee satisfaction survey, these are all the questions. And so it's a net promoter score based survey. So it's who's a promoter or a passive or a detractor from your business. All of these are confidential and anonymous. So there's not any questions that would identify employees. So they feel confident that they can fill out this survey honestly. So it's a lot of biographical data. And then we go into the survey about you and about the employer and how satisfied they are. Are they satisfied with their supervisors, with the information being shared, all sorts of different questions. And so all of those will get a score. I'll actually pull up the survey now. This is the survey that we have. It's very easy to use. It can be done in any computer or any smartphone. You'll send that link out to your employees. They simply click on the link and they'll enter in a company, 5-digit company ID. We'll just make one up here today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they'll go through a series of questions just about, like I said, first their kind of biographical information. And then we'll get into all the questions about the company as itself. So as you can see, it's very quick and easy to do. It should only take employees a minute or two to do this. Get past all the biographical data. And now we'll answer questions about the employer. And so this is that NPS style survey. They're going to rate you on a scale of 1 to 10. And this, again, these are the scores that we use to determine the winners as well. So how satisfied are you with your employer overall? And you go through the various questions, answering honestly and openly about the employer. So that's the survey. Like I said, it can be done on any platform, any computer, any smartphone, and all they need is that 5-digit company ID that we'll provide with you with the link and all the emails that you need to send out. We are categorizing companies into 3 different groups. So for the management companies, for property management companies, it's small businesses, and that's up to 100 employees, medium up to 500, and then large businesses more than 500. So those are the categories that we'll actually be announcing winners in as well. And you can see the percentage of employee base that you have to have respond to your survey at the bottom of those. So if you're a small business with 100 employees, we're expecting to see 50 results, 50 surveys come back. I can tell you that in most instances, it's usually 2 emails that get out to employees to get enough survey responses. As long as you send them on a timely basis, it's really pretty simple. And we've really never had anybody miss the mark other than not participating. So it's really just sending a couple of emails out to your employee group, and then we'll tabulate the results. For suppliers, we're also doing top supplier. So we'll nominate, we'll score the suppliers separately from the management companies, and we'll name the top 10 suppliers for this year as well. Just to be clear, so we'll have a small business category, small business property management, and we'll name the top 10, medium top 10, and large business top 10. So if you win, you do get a trophy, of course, an inclusion in the official press release. You'll get recognized in the newsletter as well as on the website and on the social media. And you're able to use this Top Employers brand and all your collateral as you go out to recruit new employees and new people to join your company. There's a small nomination fee of $299. We accept all forms of payment pretty much, including checks and wire transfers. But you can learn more about that on the website when you go to submit your nomination. And then some recent winners. So let me take you into the kind of the benchmark report. This is the benchmark report from last year. So what this does is tells you exactly where the industry as a whole scored in terms of satisfaction. So overall satisfaction was 8.82 last year, and you'll see that that was actually a slight decline from 2021. So that we'll provide you with an updated version of this for 2023. And it goes through every question and provides you that score. And what you can do is, I'll show you the actual raw data, is you'll be able to take the raw data that we provide you and very quickly determine with a couple of pivot tables. If you're not familiar with pivot tables, they're the most powerful thing I know in Excel. But you can go in and you can start to cut the data with against any number of different questions that you want to answer. So if you want to see, the satisfaction by gender, you can do that. We would just go ahead and average these out. And you can see that you have in this example of sample data, we had much higher satisfaction around, from males than females. And so you can do that with all the different questions, how satisfied you are with your role, in simple pivot table, and averaging out these scores gives you real powerful information. This one you can see is pretty close to being the same, pretty similar. This allows you, though, to go back into that benchmark report and to see how you stacked up against the industry. So for this overall, how satisfied are you with your role, that 8.76, how does that correlate to the overall satisfaction with your role from the benchmark? You'll be able to determine that right from the benchmark report. So that gives you a quick overview of the program and how it works. I think at this point, we'll open it up to questions and see if we can answer any questions that you might have. So Stephanie, do we have any questions in the queue, or does anybody want to ask a question?
No questions as of yet.
Okay. Go back to the deadlines real quick. Again, these are the deadlines that we have coming up. Oh, there we go. So nominations, again, are due March 3rd. Again, very, very easy to do the nomination. It's a simple biographic data about the company and contact information. And then we go into that employee survey period, March 8th through April 21st. That gives you plenty of time to send out 2 to 3 emails that you'll need to send. And then you'll get notified of your status, and we'll give all the data back by May 3rd. And then later in May, we'll get to the celebrating part. So how do you get nominated? Well, Stephanie put the link into the chat, which is great. Right from the website, you can go up to the top and just hit start your nomination. Once you click the start your nomination, this is the nomination form. It's very easy to fill out. It's all the biographical data and contact information that we need about the company. We did add a couple of different email addresses this year. We have a primary contact up at the top. We had some requests for a survey administrator. So if somebody is going to administer the email to your employees different than the primary contact, you can put that email address in here. And then also, if you want the results to go to one person different than the contact person, we can send those results to somebody in HR or the head of the company or somebody in management. You'll simply enter your nominee name, pick whether you're a supplier or a management company, and fill out the rest of the information. It's very easy, takes just a couple of minutes to do. Looks like we've got a question. If we do not have a link for the company logo, is there another way to submit it? Yeah, you can submit any attachments to us via email. We'll also probably reach out to you if we don't have it. But yes, if you don't have a URL, that's not a problem. You can put in any URL, and then we would go ahead and attach it to your nomination. So not a problem there. Any other questions? again, I think it's this program is really about that survey, and it's really about getting information into the hands of the company to understand how to better serve employees. And so, like I said before, we've had lots of companies that come to us every year and actually track that performance over time. And that's the real value of this award. So I appreciate everybody joining. I don't see any other questions. Stephanie, do you see any other questions?
No other questions on my end.
Okay. Well, that was quick and efficient.
It was. All
Um,
right.
If anybody does have questions, there's a big contact button up at the top of the website. You're more than welcome to call us or to email us, either one. We work 24/7 pretty much, so we're around most of the time. But feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you have, and we'll get right back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Russ. Thanks everyone for joining. We will talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.